It's the big sale of the year at All Modern, a Wayfair specialty brand. October 26th through the 29th. Save up to 70% off modern furniture and decor, plus fast and free shipping. Shop the big sale of the year at allmodern.com.
Hey, what's up, subscribers? Welcome back to the channel. So which variety of Dunkin' at-home coffee is your fave? Original blend, French vanilla, or hazelnut? Drop a comment.
What are you?
Oh, this is what I do when I'm home alone.
Drink Dunkin' Original Blend or pretend you're an influencer?
Both. Want a cup? Hey, let's do a taste test for the audience.
Okay, how's this? The rich, smooth taste of Dunkin' at home is unmatched.
Nice. You're a natural.
The home with Dunkin' is where you want to be.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, who's the bitch? Oh, welcome, everybody. And tell us what's the sitch.
Ooh.
Yeah, you like that? You know, who knows what's going to come out of my mouth at the top of a who's the bitch? But I do know that my name is Jackie Zabrowski.
And the only thing I know to be true in this world is that my name is Kara Klenk.
Oh my God, what if you
here
didn't know if that were true?
I don't know if it's true. There's actually, have I ever told you this? There's only one other Kara Klenk in the world, and she does tattoo work in Texas. And we follow each other. And sometimes I get emails of people being like, when are your books opening? And I'm like,
wow.
You're looking for the other Kara Klenk. But she married into the name. I was the only Kara Klenk in the world until this one Kara married a Klenk. But,
Kara Klenk, just throwing that out there, has great color work with their design
work. She does Miyazaki.
Wow.
She does big. If you're ever going to be in I think Texarkana, Texas.
Yes.
Sleeves and leg pieces of Miyazaki and manga and stuff like that. She does.
Follow them both. Wow, yeah, College Station, Texas. So if you found yourself there, go look up Kara Klenk.
Yeah, people are emailing me all the time asking me when I'm like, I don't have a tattoo on my body, but I'd be happy to ink you.
Would you get a tattoo?
Yeah, I thought about it.
What have you thought about? Because I feel like the first one is always, that's the one that everyone's like, and I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking about it.
I know. I literally thought about getting something really small with my kids' initials or something stupid.
Stupid.
I don't know. I'm not I don't think I'm ever going to be a person to have a lot of tattoos, but I've thought about getting something little like that.
With your pain tolerance, you can do absolutely anything. I've watched this bitch take a pain shock collar up to 100, where all of us could only take, I think the highest I could take was 22.
I don't know why that was. I guess I've always thought of myself as I've never broken a bone, knock on wood, but I have given birth to 2 9+ pound babies.
I think it's the birthing.
And so I guess that shock collar thing, I was like, this is just not hitting me in the same way as other people. But listen, there's so much pain and suffering in the world. Let's get into our unsolicited advice. What did you want to talk to me about today?
If we're going to be talking about pain and suffering, well, I guess we're going to talk about Dorinda. I said, I'm sorry, Kara. I must talk about just a little bit of Real Housewives of New York. Because I think everyone's been listening to this year, my brain's been really having an ebb and flow of what I can have the bandwidth to watch. So I really keep circling back to when I'm in a place that I need some real good shut my brain off. I pop on that Real Housewives of New York, and I tell you, I think Dorinda is healing me. And I'm scared because I did liken this to Kara, even though Kara has never read ACOTAR, because the look on Kara's face when I said I'm falling in love with Dorinda gives me, and if you've read ACOTAR, you know what I mean. It gives me the vibes of people that start reading ACOTAR who fall in love with Tamlin, and then everyone around them goes, oh, are you?
Yeah.
And you don't know why they go, oh, are you? Until later. And I'm feeling like I'm getting a little bit of a Tamlin vibe from you, Kara.
You really are, because I love what you're going through. I mean, I was there as well. I have a.
Did you love her at first?
Oh yes, and honestly, still have a lot of love for her.
But she goes cray.
She has a journey where she gets extremely dark on the show, and they put her on quote unquote pause on the show, and you're like, this is for the best. You start to worry about her. You're like, something's up. She just goes 0 to 60 really high when it comes to them, really fast when it comes to them partying. And, I'm like, this can't just be alcohol. I think she fucks with pills a little bit. That's just my...
A lot of people say coke.
Look,
a lot of people say it's a lot of coke.
I love Dorinda, though.
The thing is that Ramona and Sonia and Dorinda give me... Did you ever watch The Jersey Shore?
Yeah.
They give me meatball vibes. And I think that's why I like that. I like that they... This is horrible. I like that they're destructive. I love that they drink way too much and they're all fucking messes. And I love it because I'm watching it on my television screen. I don't want it in my real home, but watching them yell at each other, now they're in Turks and Caicos and I feel like shit's about to really pop off. And Dorinda, you know what's a ticking time bomb? And I guess you don't have to say anything to me about this, but Dorinda's dude, the guy that's like the dry cleaning guy that's always grabbing on all the women.
Yeah.
And all the women are like, yeah, he makes us uncomfortable. And
John
Dorinda's like,
Dazian.
why?
Yeah.
He's John. He's John. He grabs. He's John. And Dorinda, we probably shouldn't be saying those things. We should probably we should be listening to the women that are being grabbed against their will.
Yeah.
But yet, I love her. But I also, I was a Jill Zarin. I love the New Yorker till the day that I die. I've got shit I gotta say, and you're gonna fucking hear everything I gotta say about it. But I also love now that Countess Luann is just going by Lou.
Oh yeah,
I love this version of Lou.
She
Lou
really
is just Louing about the
into
place.
herself.
Wow, she is, not that I'm saying slutting about the town. I'm saying it, but I mean it in a positive way.
My friend just sent me a cameo that one of her friends got from Luann, where she's hungover, she's makeup free, although she looks gorgeous.
I bet.
She's trying to sing and she kind of chokes a little bit because I think she's hungover, and you could tell that she's like, oh God, these cameos are expiring in 20 minutes. I got to do them.
Was she singing? Was she just going?
Well, she goes, I know, and I know you're great because, chic, c'est la vie, c'est bon, c'est bon. And then she said, money can't buy you class. And she choked a little bit trying to sing Money Can't Buy You Class. She just is darling. And then she literally drops her website and goes, and come see me on my tour. It's at CountessLuannCabaret.com. She drops her website. I mean, Luann molded to television in a way I think that was really great. She came out there being like, I'm going to be the Countess, and then was like, no, I'm going to be a slutty cabaret singer.
Yeah.
And I love the journey for her. And she's gone in and out of sobriety, whatever. Dorinda is a wonderful addition to the show. She gives you some of the best quotes. I made it nice. Say it, regret it. Say it, forget it, write it, regret it.
I was telling Kara why I needed to talk about Dorinda was because Sonia said, I party with John Kennedy and Madonna all the time. And then Dorinda goes, well, John's dead, so that's difficult.
Yeah.
And then walked out of the room, and it was just this. She's so
razor sharp.
Funny.
She's razor sharp and funny, but the problem is when she turns it on
bad.
to the wrong person or at the wrong time, she gets too mean to me. But Dorinda still has a thriving career as a reality personality. As we know, she was kicked off first from the Traders, but she'll be
bringing her back, and
they're
now
going to
I'm
bring
excited.
her back. I think you're going to get to know her better. Dorinda's a gem of a television personality. I think I do agree though that sometimes the show has to look at people that are getting too dark, just the darkness kind of surrounds them, and we need to get rid of them for a little while.
Bethany being brought back in this season, and she's just
that's
crying all over and she's just not in a good place. And I know Bethany's crazy, but I'm just like, Bethany, girl, maybe you shouldn't be on the show right now, hon. You keep fucking crying.
How about when many of them, their kids beg them don't do the show, and they're like, I don't know what to do, and it's like, I don't know. If my daughter told me to stop doing a reality show, I'd be like,
stop doing a
Then I
reality
talked
show.
to Jared about that, and he goes, yeah, but do your kids have the right to tell you to stop working? And it's like, yeah, sure, but a reality show is more than work. It's they're letting you into their lives. Then they're under a microscope. If your kid really wants you to stop doing that, stop doing it. You can do it later when they're in college or whatever. But anyway,
sorry, thank you for just giving me a space. I have no one to talk to about this, and thank you everybody that's listening.
And people ask me all the time, where would I start Housewives if I wanted to start? And I always say New York. Start with New York, and then if you want, you could dive into Salt Lake just because it just started. It's only in its fifth season or so. It's so freaking good. This last episode, are you totally caught up on Salt Lake?
I haven't watched the last episode.
The last episode had me howling in the first 5 minutes. So many funny things happen right away. They have this unhinged lunch. Everybody's saying the funniest fucking stuff. It's so crazy. That show's really funny, but New York was really but the thing that you like about it is yes, these women are very wealthy and in some ways aspirational, but the actual super high society wealth of New York City, they're not doing a show like that.
They would never do a show like this.
So you're getting people like Ramona and Sonia and Dorinda who are very wealthy and I'm sure have run with all the right people, but are like New Yorkers in a lot of ways. And like, you know,
what is the phrase? It's like money talks, but wealth
whispers.
Wealth whispers.
It's literally
that's what
a
it
thing
is.
that Dorinda says.
That's, yes, and wealth whispers. That's
She goes,
exactly.
money talk, wealth whispers. I have a tank top that says, "What are you doing here without Dorinda?" I mean, like I'm a fan. I've been to the Berkshires. We tried to find her house.
Kara, I'm looking at them in the Berkshires, and they're all talking all this mad shit about the Berkshires, and then I'm like, I want to go to the Berkshires.
Yeah.
Can we go? Who's the bitch trip to the Berkshires?
I think she's going to start renting that house out, but I think it's going to be maybe beyond our means. It's going to be extremely expensive.
There's 5 fireplaces.
Oh, there's the fish room. She's changed it. Anyway, okay. Really quickly before we start, this is sort of on the border of unsolicited and solicited advice, but I really wanted to talk about it. Someone named Taylor wrote us and said, I've been keeping this bitchy little note in my phone of what I call verbal assaults.
Love this.
And I thought I'd share with you gals. These are mispronunciations that are personally offensive to me and I think should be punishable by jail.
Love this. And there's a couple of them that I have that I completely agree with you on.
Some of these are totally, and this actually ties in because the housewives do a lot of these.
They do a lot.
Okay, the housewives do a lot of these. So the first one that Taylor has on her list is frustrated.
Frustrated.
The word is frustrated. There is an R after the F. It is not frustrated. Lisa Barlow is constantly going, and it just gets me really frustrated. And I'm like, it's not frustrated. Okay. A whole nother. She doesn't like when someone says a whole nother. Nother is not a word. It's just another. But that I think is more colloquial. Like I'll be like, well, that's a whole nother. Like I'm saying that like that's not. So I'm not with you on that one. She says people say defiantly instead of definitely.
Or maybe in writing. I wonder if it's that like defiantly instead of
it's getting auto-corrected or something, but it's wrong. This one is espresso.
When I worked at a coffee shop, especially in New York, with the New York accent, I grew up saying espresso. Like I think a lot.
Yeah.
It is in the accent specifically, but working for a coffee company for a long time, then it really starts getting flagged in your brain.
It is espresso. And something that I will piggyback off this one is especially. I don't like when people say especially.
Especially.
It is especially.
Yes.
I have a podcaster that I used to listen to who would say it all the time. And I hate to say it made me... you shouldn't judge people off their grammar, but I just do sometimes. Like I just was like, I don't... And I'm not,
I have a bad
I'm not saying if you're a person that suffers from any kind of learning disability or you are from another country and English isn't your first language. Yeah. If you are born and raised and don't have any other, and you say especially, I'm like, you're reading the word incorrectly. It's especially. There's no X. The C and the S are not reversed.
But I will also say, sometimes you don't even realize you're saying it wrong. And I feel like it's like, but then in your life, like if you were saying especially, I probably would never correct you for saying that.
Oh, never. I would just
corrected me,
cringe quietly.
Yeah, I'd cringe quietly because because part of me was like, well, I'd want to know if I was saying it wrong. As I'm saying that, I'm like, yeah, but then if someone corrects me while in the middle of saying something, and then I'm just like, okay, you can correct me, but could you just like wait until I've finished my thought?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. She also writes mixing up women and woman. When written, which I think
woman-owned.
She also writes corroborate. She says people say corroborate instead of corroborate.
Wow.
I've never heard that. This next one I was guilty of, I think, when I was a kid, was etc. When people, instead of etc., people say etc. But I think people just say etc. But it is etc. And then irregardless. Irregardless is not a word.
Whoa, I didn't know.
I think now, irregardless, if you Google it, has been like added because it's a non-standard word that's been used so much. But irregardless means the same thing as regardless. So you don't need it. Regardless and irregardless there's no difference to the meaning.
There's no need for it.
I think people are thinking of like irrespective, or there's other words or something like that that begin with IR. So, there was another one that was making me... that I think I say something wrong, and people always point it out to me, but I'm forgetting it. because I think I've tried to fix it. I've tried to fix it. But anyway, if you have any more of these, Taylor writes, maybe it makes me a bitch, but when I hear these in conversations, I want to laugh out loud. I mean, first you said you wanted to jail people, Taylor. Now you're saying you just laugh out loud. She says, keep on bitching.
No, she says, I think it should be punishable by jail.
Yes.
So we're just musing about the future.
Frustrated and especially have been driving me crazy, and I hear them on the Housewives all the time.
Frustrated. And especially there are certain words that, again, you don't even know that you're saying improperly. And I will tell you, get into the audiobook narration world, and there are some like ways in which you're supposed to say, and I'm like, but no one says that word like that. And they're like, but that is how it is supposed to be said. So I can't, now of course my mind is escaping me of what those words are, but there's just certain like diphthongs and things like that all people say improperly.
Incorrectly.
And then at that point, then let's just change it.
I mean, there's so many things. Like, you know how like peruse means to like just quickly, you think it means to like quickly look over something? Apparently it really means read it in depth. Like, but we've just changed it. You know, language. That's the fun thing about language. It's always moving around.
It changes.
It's so funny because I have friends. I have a friend that uses RSVP incorrectly.
How do they use it?
Every single time we're like, I'm going to have people over for this. She goes, RSVP. And I go, that doesn't mean you're coming. RSVP means that you respond. Like, RSVP is like, I need you to let me know if you're coming. It stands for répondez s'il vous plaît, right? Like in French, which means respond, please. So you would have to be like, I RSVP yes or I RSVP no. She thinks RSVP just means I'm coming. And she does it in conversation all the time and in text, and it makes me laugh. It's so funny. But she learned to speak English as a 6-year-old. And so I just tease her and be like, oh, I'm sorry, you're so ESL. But like, it's a joke because she speaks unaccented perfect English now. And I just tease her about her saying things wrong.
So you're not talking about Hilaria Baldwin.
No,
okay.
But you can totally like, I just only would ever bring up these things to my friends as a joke when I'm teasing them because I could never be like, by the way, you're saying that the wrong way. I'm just letting you know for you. Like I would never. I could not possibly. Okay. Let's get to our solicited advice. We're going to get to our first email.
Yes.
Okay. Our email. You got it. Howdy. I've wanted to write in for a while now since I've been in an awkward spot for almost a year where I thought BITCHuation would resolve itself without my input, but it's only getting worse by the day.
Oh, no.
Let me start by introducing myself. I'm Sebastian, 26 years old. I'm a bit pudgy, but I like to think I'm at least okay looking. A little facial hair changes me from a man baby to a man adolescent.
Hell yes.
I like long walks on the beach and blah, 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 blah. Who cares? We are here for the tea. Person 2 in this story is my coworker. I'm just going to name this person Sebastian for the sake of who are the other characters in
Flounder.
Cruel Intentions?
I was thinking Sebastian the crab. I thought you were going more Little Women. And now Little Women, Little Mermaid.
Like, okay, so in Cruel Intentions, the other characters are Catherine and Annette, right?
I guess I couldn't remember. All I remember from that movie was going that and Bittersweet Symphony. But
okay, well, I'm just going to name the 2 characters Catherine and Annette. Just for
love
fun.
this. Love this.
It doesn't actually have anything to do with that movie. It's just because there was a Sebastian. Catherine in the story is the coworker, though not technically.
Have you met All Modern? All Modern brings you the best of modern furniture and decor all in one place. Save up to 70% during their big sale of the year. Update your space with modern dining tables, chairs, and more. All on sale at All Modern, a Wayfair specialty brand. Plus, get fast and free delivery. That's modern made simple. Shop the big sale of the year October 26th through 29th online at allmodern.com.
Hey, what's up, subscribers? Welcome back to the channel. So which variety of Dunkin' at-home coffee is your fave? Original blend, French vanilla, or hazelnut? Drop a comment.
What are you?
This is what I do when I'm home alone.
Drink Dunkin' Original Blend or pretend you're an influencer?
Both. Want a cup? Hey, let's do a taste test for the audience.
Okay, how's this? The rich, smooth taste of Dunkin' at home is unmatched.
Nice. You're a natural.
The home with Dunkin' is where you want to be.
since we just share the same small office. She's a kind person, at least outwardly, very conscientious type, is vegan, attends marches, and asks for pronouns from everyone she meets. Initially, we got along very nicely together. While I'm not as active as her, I also believe every person deserves respect, no matter who they are or where they are from. She also invited me multiple times to her apartment to meet her fiance and some friends. Now, here's where the third person is introduced. This is Annette. Annette is my coworker friend, a bit younger than Catherine, around my age. The first time we met was at Catherine's place. Annette was super nice, pretty, and had an out-of-town country girl vibe, as she had left her rural town to study in the big city. The next time I saw Annette was at Catherine's wedding. Catherine invited me, even though I'd only known her for about 5 months. Annette was also at the wedding. She seemed to be flirting with me, smiling a lot, taking my hand to introduce me to people, and even asking me to join her family photo. WTF. I had barely known this girl, Annette, but she was doing all this stuff for me. Perhaps she had fallen for my devilish medium looks and awkward personality, I thought. I think you sound adorable, Sebastian.
I love you.
Fast forward a few days, I decided, why not hit her up on Instagram and see what's up? Before that, I decided to run it by Catherine, as they were lifelong friends. I wanted to see if she thought it was a good idea and if she approved.
Okay.
Catherine said, sure, go for it.
Love this.
So I was talking for a few days with Annette until she hits me with the, hey, I'm sorry for leading you on. I found out you talked to Catherine about me, and I'm not really looking for that at the moment. My first reaction was bummer, but at least she was very direct and honest, and I appreciate that instead of being led on. Told her that and that I'm sorry for making her uncomfortable. And I thought that was that, but eventually it dawned on me that my coworker Catherine had gone to Annette just after I'd asked for her permission, basically spilling my beans as directly as possible. Maybe Annette got spooked by such a direct confrontation, or maybe not. But what matters is that Catherine, in my eyes, broke my trust and went behind my back instead of just telling me. Instead, I have nothing against Annette, but I was really pissed off at Catherine, so I started a silent treatment by basically only saying good morning loudly in the office to greet everyone else without directly addressing her. Once she confronted me about this, I told her she broke my trust and I would like to keep things strictly professional from now on. Ever since then, neither she nor I have spoken directly to each other, and it's really awkward. Since we share such a small office, I have to walk through hers multiple times a day and pretend she doesn't exist. Lunch has been split between people in my camp and in hers. The funny thing is, I don't even feel strongly about it anymore, but I'm too proud a person to stand down after so long. For things to go back to the way they were, all she needs to do is say, I'm sorry. However, she refuses to acknowledge she was wrong in her eyes. So that's it. I'm leaving this job in a month. I have no problem leaving things as they are, but I also think I shouldn't be too proudful and confront her properly like an adult. Who's the bitch? Sebastian. Okay. Here's what I think. I think, Sebastian, it's possible that Catherine just asked Annette, oh, by the way, did Sebastian ever message you? Or, by the way, Sebastian is kind of into you and he's going to message you. I said it was okay. I hope that's okay with you. Because women do sort of have to protect each other.
That's the thing. And I didn't want to be out the gate at you, Sebastian, but like, sometimes I feel like that was more of like a letting her know, because sometimes a person, like if you are a female identifying individual, sometimes you don't want to be approached sexually by someone. And
or
maybe
romantically by a work person.
Yeah, romantically at all.
Yeah.
And so I feel that like if a friend was asking me about a friend of mine, there's no, I would definitely go to that friend to be like, are you into something like that? Or are you looking for like to put out the, unless they had said like don't say anything or anything like that, because like I want to make sure. But I feel like you're so right, Kara, that it's also like we got to look out for each other.
It's kind of like a girl code thing, not to say that anything's wrong with you or anything.
No.
But I think it's like you yourself are saying, like, it doesn't sound like you came straight out and told Annette, hey, I'm interested in you. Like, would you like to go on a date sometimes? It sounds like you were just chatting her up on Instagram and seeing where things go. And that's
Which is all good.
That's fine. But you were reading into it romantically based on the actions at the wedding. And I think all that Catherine was doing was letting Annette know by the way, like he's interested. Like this isn't just like a coworker that wants to go get, because then there is a lot of miscommunication between men and women. And men are like, oh, she was leading me on. She was doing this and that. And I think, maybe Catherine's whole thing, I guess
Which you're not doing that, Sebastian. But some people, and we have to protect ourselves of some people do that.
Yes.
Of like, well, you had to, like, you were doing all that stuff. And unfortunately, part of the girl code is protecting each other of, you never know. We've all been in instances. I can't speak for every single person, female identifying persons, but I do feel that a lot of us have been put into instances that we find uncomfortable that like could be seen as like, well, you were flirting with me. And I think that a lot of us have had experiences being victim blamed. And I'm not saying that this person is a victim in this, but I'm saying you stopped all of that from happening by having the direct conversation with your friend to ask about all of this. And I actually think all of that, there's nothing wrong with her going to
I don't think there's really anything wrong with Catherine going to Annette to just check in and see that that they spoke. I don't think Annette had to mention that to you, but I also think that, like, I think she could have just said, hey, it feels like maybe you think this is a romantic thing and that's not really where it's going. But it does feel like that's what you wanted it to be. And Catherine just said that explicitly to her. And I feel like you're upset that she did that. If you explicitly asked her not to say that, okay, but also at the same time, why would you do that? Like, why, if anything, you kind of want friends to be like, hey, let them know that I'm kind of interested. Let's like nurture this as like an organic thing where like, let your, like, can you see if your friend is maybe interested in maybe going on a date with me and see if it works out? Unfortunately, I do think that maybe you're a little bit upset that you're disappointed that Annette was not interested in that. And I think that you're taking it out on Catherine a little bit. I don't think you're the bitch here. I think that that's a totally normal thing to do, but I think you're taking it out on Catherine. I think it's okay for you to say to Catherine, like, hey, I kind of wish that you hadn't said anything to her. And then maybe Catherine could have said her piece and you guys could have moved on. But I do feel like you're admitting that you're being a little prideful now and that you're like, you don't even care about this that much and you're just like still doing the silent treatment. Like, I think it would be nice if you could leave the job going, hey, I'm sorry, I think I overreacted a little bit. I felt that we were really good friends and that you broke my trust. But the other girl is her lifelong friend as well. So I'm sure she had felt, you have to see where she's coming from, that she was kind of just, she's got two friends on both sides here. And she doesn't sound like she said, by the way, he's fucking in love with you. You should run for the hills. If that's something that's different. But if she just checked in with her, mentioned the conversation, you didn't make it, you didn't specify in your letter to us whether you'd asked her not to do that. So I don't really know what I'm just going off of the information that you're giving here, which is that it feels like this has been a little bit of an overreaction, especially because it's somebody who you got along with and who invited you to their home a bunch of times and let you in on, invited you to their wedding, like you went to this person's wedding, and then you're kind of breaking it all off because of them saying something to somebody. And I think ultimately you're just a little bit hurt that this girl wasn't into you, which, you know what? Understandable.
Okay. Of course
that sucks.
Bad.
There's plenty of fish in the sea. You've got a great personality from judging by your email. I think you sound really
you're
funny.
Hilarious.
You're the self-deprecating stuff is funny but also you sound cool. You don't need to call yourself medium good looks and all that. You probably have a great personality. Don't call yourself awkward off the bat. Don't manifest that for yourself.
Right. And I also will say, and just as a reminder for everybody, that I know that it's like, well, what else are we supposed to do? But silent treatment gets you nowhere. It doesn't serve any purpose. It is just laying just actual pure tension in the air that not only affects you, but affects the other person, but it affects everybody else in the office. And it makes, I'm just throwing that as somebody that used to give silent treatment a lot.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a silent treatment. I'm guilty.
But it gets you nothing. Yeah. And all it does is keep you upset.
Yeah.
So honestly, I want to see that hopefully, I know you're leaving the job. It doesn't really fucking matter. But I do hope that you get to a place of like, you know what? In the scheme of things.
Yeah.
This is not that big of a deal. And I'm not trying to say gaslight you or tell you that like, it's like, get over it, bitch. It's just, it's past.
I'm kind of just
It's
trying
done.
to explain to you also like that this is sort of how female friendships work. Like girls are going to give their friends
The
a heads up that someone's interested in them romantically.
We're always going to do it.
If like her friend said to her like, oh yeah, he seems like such a great guy, I'm looking forward to being friends, I would say to
This
my
wouldn't
friend,
have been an issue.
FYI, Sebastian seems to be looking for a little bit more than that, just so you know. And like maybe that's something that it like is gonna.
But that protects Sebastian too.
Yeah. Like that
so
way.
she was trying to
Yeah, I
protect.
think she was trying to like make sure that there was honest, like open communication between the two of you, so that nobody had the wrong idea. I think it's totally fine for when she confronted you. You said you broke my trust, but I don't think that you needed to like fully cut things off in a friendship way and make everything professional. But you did decide to do that. So I don't know. I think like if you went to her and said, hey, I'm sorry, I think I overreacted a little bit. I'd really like to continue our friendship, especially because I'm leaving the job and I'd like to stay in touch. Like, I'm really sorry about this. And then that will probably prompt her to apologize for saying something that you didn't want her to say, if that's all you're looking for is this apology. But
I know you say you're too proud of a person, but like at the end of the day, is the pride worth it to just forever not have this friendship?
Yeah.
And if it is to you, if you're like, I'd rather die than say I'm sorry, well, then there's your answer.
yeah.
But then you lost a friend.
But yeah, like again, if this was like you told her something extremely personal about you and you said, please don't tell anyone, and then you found out she said something, that's sort of different to
Also
me
different.
than at least what you've illustrated here. So
But give us an update. Honestly, if there's more to this that we're not getting, that like what that was more intricate, hit us up. Who's a bitch.com.
yeah, for sure.
We want to hear from you. And thank you, Sebastian.
Yes. Okay. Let's get to our next submission. This is a voicemail.
Thank you for calling Who's the Bitch. Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep.
Okay. I'm going to call myself Kay, K-A-Y, and this is a pretty I feel like this is a low stakes situation. But I just want to know if this is bitchy or completely unhinged or whatnot. But I am seeing a man who is going through a divorce. I'm 31 and he is 40. And everything's going pretty well. I've been very careful with myself and making sure that he's serious, and he is. However, I stay at his house sometimes, and his ex-wife is not done moving all of her stuff out because she is dragging her feet on it. That's a whole other situation that I will call in about at some point, but not today. So anyways, I'm staying at his house one night, and I forgot my face soap. And I was like, I'm one of those people, I'm very big on my skincare. If I don't wash my face, it can break out literally the next morning. So I just happened to take a peek in their bathroom to see if like he had face soap. He did not. I asked him. Or if like, I don't know, she maybe had a face soap. Well, she had this really expensive face soap. It was called Dr. Brandt, which I am familiar with that brand. It is a very expensive brand. And so I was like, you know what? This is crazy, but I'm going to use this face soap. So I used the face soap, and it was amazing. Like, it took the dirt off way better than my cheapo face soap that I use. I use Neutrogena from the drugstore. And I was like, oh my God, this face is really good. So the next time that I went over there, I decided I would use it again, even though I had remembered my face soap. Fast forward a little bit, we ended up going on a trip together, and I stayed over the night before the trip, and I forgot my face soap. So I was like, oh my God, I forgot my face soap. I have to bring soon-to-be ex-wife's face soap with me. I have no other option. I could have bought some, but I was like, I don't make a lot of money. I don't want to get into my career because I don't know if she listens, but my profession does not make a lot of money historically. And so I did not want to have to buy something that I absolutely didn't have to buy.
Grave digger.
So I brought the face soap with me on the vacation, used it the whole time, and I just took it home with me because it was really good. And I really liked the way it made my face feel. And so I've added it to my skincare routine. I use it at night, and then I use the other one in the morning.
Go off.
And it's not like she was missing it because she clearly isn't using it at her new place that she's living in. So, yeah, I think that makes me more unhinged than bitchy, but I just wanted to call in and see what you guys thought. I told my friends, I was like, this is really crazy of me, but I need to tell someone. And one of my friends was like, you go queen, use that face soap. And my other friend was like, no, that's really weird. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I love you both. I've been listening to LP and stuff for years. Huge Last Podcast fan. I've seen them live twice. I would love to see Who's the Bitch live. Anyways, toodles.
Love this.
Yeah. So when we say there's low stakes and there's high stakes calls, guys, this is what we mean. This could not be lower stakes. And yet I found myself really wondering about the implications.
Are Kara and I currently looking up Dr. Brandt's
You bet your ass we are.
You're damn right
yeah, I mean,
we are.
On their website, before you look at shipping and stuff, I mean, oil to foam cleanser, $45 for a tube, $38 for this other one. Yeah, I've heard of this brand before.
I'll also throw it out there just to, it's not even devil's advocate, that there are a lot of skincare brands that are not only this expensive, but a lot more expensive than this.
Yes.
And the world of skincare is a very expensive place to play.
And it's a lot of bullshit
and
as well.
There is a lot of bullshit out there. But when you find something that makes your face feel so wonderful.
My question to you is the skincare, is the
how old
face
is it?
soap making you feel good also a little bit because it's got that extra scent of he's mine now?
He's mine.
Is that what's making it feel a little bit good also, that it belongs to this other person? Because I know you know, Neutrogena is probably, $12. It's probably 3 times as much. I get it. But what are you going to do? You're going to run out of it at some point. And then what? Like if she for some reason asks for it back, you're going to have to buy a new bottle of it for her, I think, or ask your boyfriend to. And then or you're hooked and you got to keep buying this stuff for yourself. I don't know. I'm just kind of curious as to whether it makes you kind of feel, again, you're 31, he's 40. Like, does it make you feel, I mean, when I was 31, I felt like I was still a teenager.
I was a baby.
Like I was a baby. But not to say anything about you, does it make you feel like more grown up to be with this guy who's been married and you're using the ex-wife's expensive face wash? I mean, I'm not trying to read too into it, because if you want a quick answer, I'm like, no, I don't think it's that weird. Use the face wash. But
I don't think it's that weird.
I'm trying to dig into the psychology of it a little bit. I don't think you're a bitch.
No.
But I do think if she fucking asks for it for some reason, but also she doesn't give a shit if it's been there for enough time.
Honey,
that you've used it twice and now you're taking it on a trip.
No. If she asks for it back, okay, I want to know, how long was it sitting there for? I can't imagine going to my exes to ask for the skincare back if I didn't take it with me in the first place. I wouldn't do it. And now I am saying this maybe as somebody that has a lot of past problems, and I'm not usually good at keeping friends with my exes. And they do say that you should probably watch out for those people. But let's just say I used to choose very poorly. But the thing is, one thing that we all know about expensive products, and especially with skincare stuff, it's like anything else, and it will go bad. So I feel like part of this, and what I would be telling myself as I use every single one of these products, is that it was going to go bad.
Yeah.
I mean, what is she going to come back and then it's going to be all crusted over, and then we're going to the waste of how we're having to get rid of this.
Yeah.
You fucking use that lotion, bitch.
I think the thing with your problem now is that you're a Dr. Brandt user, and you're going to have to figure out a way to budget that in, because now you're loving it.
You're loving it.
It's not going to last forever.
But we do know about a lot of these cremes, outside of I'm not talking about your La Mer's where it's $300 for like a thimble full.
Right.
I don't, I can't speak for any of that stuff, but a lot of this stuff, a little does go a long way. And you don't need much, but then you use the Neutrogena, you get your Hydro Boost, like when we're thinking about Kara, when we get out of the shower, you slather yourself with the cheaper
Somebody wrote us
stuff.
in and said you got to get the Hydro Boost lotion.
And so you slather yourself with everything else, but then the nice face stuff, and you just put little dabs on there, and then you get it, and then it'll last a while.
I just started using some cream that my friends recommended, and I'm like, yeah, I guess. I don't know. Everything's like, yeah, I guess with me and facial stuff, but I don't have bad breakouts, so it depends. But listen, that's not the point of all this. The point of this is not for Jackie and I to indict the bullshit of the skincare industry, but I don't think it's unhinged.
Also, look to K-beauty stuff. If you like the way that all that stuff feels, start looking and seeing, like, look up the active ingredients of what's inside of it and start looking, because I love going to, like, hit me with a 99 Ranch Market, get me, it's like any kind of like rice water foaming cleanser. Like, you can get that shit cheap and it makes my skin
Snail
feel
serum.
crazy.
Snail serum.
It's not, that shit, not expensive. So get that. There's a lot out there too that isn't crazy expensive.
Yeah. And let us know if you start dipping into other stuff the ex-wife left behind, because then we'll know that you're kind of being a little bit more unhinged.
I would
but I
use
can't
it.
tell.
I definitely use it. I would. And I completely understand. We all have things that, like, if I don't do X, Y, and Z, I cannot sleep. I also have to wash my face. I have to have all of my things so that I can properly sleep. I get you. Use that shit.
Oh, yeah. I think it's fine. But yeah, I'm interested to see if you start dipping into other things that the ex-wife leaves behind. But also write us back and tell us what's going on with the divorce.
It might be too bitchy, but even when you were like, and if she ever asked for it back, I feel like if I were ever, I'd be like, what lotion?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he got rid of it. I don't know. Maybe he cleaned it when you left. I don't know. I don't know what lotion.
Is she telling the partner that she's using it?
I don't know.
That's what I want to know.
I want to know that, but that's why if the other woman comes back, I'd be like, never heard of it. Lotion, never heard of it.
Doctor who? Dr. Zizmore?
Oh my God, Dr. Zizmore.
Dr. Zizmore. All right, let's get to our next email. Jackie, please read this to us.
Yes, ma'am.
You got
Hi, ladies. I'm a longtime LPN fan and am loving this podcast. Jackie and Kara, you guys are killing it. Thank you.
Thank you for the compliments. You guys are so nice.
This is a not so serious bitchuation, but I'd still like to know who you guys think the bitch is. So, one day I, 26 female, get a sweet text from my fiance, 26 male, at around 12 p.m. saying that he went out to lunch and he's getting me a treat for later. I'm so excited because who doesn't want to come home from work to a nice treat? For more context, I'm a farmer and also the person who mostly cooks in our relationship because I love cooking and I'm really good at it, but it's always nice when he brings me a treat or makes me something after a long day on the farm. Anyways, I come home at 7 p.m. that night and walk in the house and see a greasy bag sitting on the counter. I look inside and I see a hot dog. No toppings, just a plain hot dog sitting in this greasy bag. Surely this cannot be my treat. Treat means sweet, like a cannoli or a muffin. I don't even really like hot dogs, LOL. I find my fiance and say, hey, babe, what's with that?
Have you met All Modern? All Modern brings you the best of modern furniture and decor all in one place. Save up to 70% during their big sale of the year. Update your space with modern dining tables, chairs, and more. All on sale at All Modern, a Wayfair specialty brand. Plus, get fast and free delivery. That's modern made simple. Shop the big sale of the year October 26th through 29th online at allmodern.com.
Hey, hate to do this. Could we reschedule
our morning hike? I was just about to ask the same.
Next week? Yes, it's Dunkin' Original Blend time.
Staying at home with Dunkin'? Don't mind if I do.
The home with Dunkin' is where you want to be.
Dog sitting on the counter, and he's like, that's your treat. I got it from a really good hot dog cart that was at work. I'm like, okay, he's really excited about this. Let me just be grateful that he was thinking about me. Then I asked the fateful question, how long has the hot dog been sitting on the counter? And he says, oh, since I ran home from work at 1 p.m. p.m.? As in for the last 6 hours it's been sitting out? I was like, babe, you can't leave a meat product out on the counter that long unrefrigerated. It's not safe to eat. He got upset and was saying that I didn't appreciate the treat he got me. He was legitimately mad that I didn't want to eat the hot dog after it had been sitting out for 6 hours. Am I the bitch because I didn't eat the bacteria and disease-ridden hot dog that had been sitting out for 6 hours? Or is he the bitch because he tried to kill me with his treat? Jackie, I thought you might like this story because you're a hot dog ambassador, so I'm curious to see where your sympathies lie. Thanks, Abby.
Abby. Oh my gosh. This one feels like it kind of goes hand in hand a little bit with the one that the submission we got a few weeks ago where somebody was like, I don't really care about my birthday, but then my husband got me wine and chocolates. Like, it's just a little bit more about how men, like, that is a wild thing in any scenario to say I brought you a treat and have it be a hot dog in a bag.
Wild. And here's the thing. I love hot dogs, and I hear you 100%. I would not think that that was a treat.
Yeah.
A naked hot dog sitting at the bottom of if the hot dog, okay, Abby, I imagine you also would have been different if it was like, I found this place and they do like elote, like with the free, they go all the stuff and they make these like crazy things. Sure, that's a treat. Even if you don't like a hot dog, well, that's fun. Not even mustard on it. And it's going to sit in the
counter.
And it's not even going to be on the counter. And it, like you told me earlier, like also, it would be the kind of thing where I feel like I would feel differently if he had never brought up the treat and I came home and I saw the treat and I'd be like, oh, a hot dog. Oh, that's cute.
Or like,
that's cute
you don't
for me.
call it a treat. You just go, oh, I was at this great hot dog place at work. I grabbed an extra one for you if you want it.
Saying so, it's like I feel like in the same way as sometimes I do in my relationship where like I'll wake him up in the morning and be like, I'm going to have sex with you later. And I put it in his head so that he thinks about it all day long. I feel like to me, treat and sex are the same. That if he said treat, I'm going to be thinking about that treat all day. It better be a good treat.
Yeah.
If you're gonna seed the day with treat, it better be great.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, I made you, I got you a t-shirt. Like, that's not the sex that you promised. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, it's just really wild. And then he's mad at you because I don't know. To me, that would be the kind of thing where I would just be like, hey, honey, my idea of a treat is XYZ. So in the future, if you're going to get me a treat, it's this and that. And also, we need to have a conversation about meat
sitting out,
cleanliness and hygiene. Like, we can't, like, I Googled it and it says a hot dog cannot be left out for more than 2 hours.
Yeah, it's 2 hours.
And only 1 hour if the temperature is like above 90 degrees.
Yeah.
So if you've left it on a hot summer day, it's even less time.
But I also do understand when you think that you've done something fun for your partner and then it's received with only negative, which you were right, Abby, to be like, and you left it out and it's just a hot dog. But then, of course, I feel like it's that buildup, which I think any of us would understand, the buildup of even if it was stupid, the buildup of, but he was excited to give it to you. And then his excitement, like, I feel like you popped his excitement balloons. And I know you're rolling your eyes, Kara, and I understand. And I know, and I'm just trying to say that I'm trying to play devil's advocate of like, I get that he's like, but I tried.
It's like when your son makes you a fucking picture and it doesn't look like anything and it's garbage and you have to go, that's what you do to a baby.
Right.
That's what you do to a baby.
Yeah,
you go, that looks wonderful, honey, and it looks like you worked really hard on that. Congratulations. Your grown-ass husband coming over, I brought you a hot dog. It didn't cost much. It didn't take much effort. You, in fact, took no effort to put the goddamn thing in the refrigerator. So why do you have to sit there and turn around and pat this little boy on the head and go, it's okay, baby. I like my treat. I just can't eat it or I'll get fucking salmonella. Like, come on. This weaponized incompetence with men needs to stop. It's really driving me fucking nuts. If he wanted to get you something nice, he would have put it on a plate. He would have maybe dressed it for you.
Something.
Especially because you're the one that cooks the food.
Yes.
You make food, and then he's going to bring you what he calls a treat when you make good food all the time. And it's a hot dog. Was there even a bun, or was it a loose dog?
And he didn't even make it for you, because this is the thing. Like, my husband cannot cook worth a shit, but he's been really trying to cook more. And I tell you, it's heavy on the word trying. But in that instance, he made it. He went out of his way to do it. So I'm going to eat it, and I'm not going to complain about it.
Yeah.
None of this. I fucking complain. I would
this
complain
just feels
for
like,
weeks.
and if they're complaining that you don't like that, like, yeah, you're like, sorry, I'm not gonna like jump up and down for joy over table scraps. Like, it's just not.
You should bring him home some roadkill and be like, oh, well, I got this.
I got
for
you a treat, but it took me a
sitting-
really long time to hit this raccoon with my
had
car.
to drag it all the way into the car.
Yeah. But it sounds like it's probably like not an actual issue between you and your partner now.
No.
I'm sure it's like turned into a joke. But
I
like,
would have been
in
upset.
In general, it's like, I don't know. Don't throw the word treat around when it's not a treat. You know what I mean? Like, I have a surprise for you, and it's just like, I folded a little bit of laundry or something.
Oh,
yeah,
God,
that's not like, what?
Yeah, not even. I started the laundry.
Yeah.
Like, when it's things, I was like, oh, so you started, so I can finish it? Oh, wow, thank you.
You're reminding me I have to text my husband right now to switch the laundry over.
Switch it over,
Texting him right now
You
to go
got work
switch
to
it
do.
over, bitch.
See, a mama's job ain't never finished. Although it is funny, you've said that you don't mind being called mama. It does annoy you when people call you mama.
Just a reminder for you to switch the laundry over.
Sending a voice note.
Sending a voice note.
And I did think about you in Real Housewives, because I think it's Heather that calls everybody mama. And then at one point, and then somebody's like, why did she have to say that? Why did she have to have, why can't she just call me by name?
No, I hate mama.
You hate mama.
I don't like being called mama. I really don't really like it when my kids even call me mama. I like mom better, or mommy. Like, I really don't like mama.
Yeah.
There's something about it that bothers me. And especially Heather. Oh, and Heather worked for Diddy. She knew what was going on.
Holla.
Holla. Get your ass to court. All right. Let's see. What is our next excursion? Okay. Here is another voicemail.
Thank you for calling Who's the Bitch. Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep.
Hi, love the pod. I'm calling because I'm getting married in June, and we're having a small wedding, and I'm not very close with my family. Sorry, I'm just jumping right into this.
Get into it, bitch.
I've been on my mind for a while. And I'm inviting a family member, but I'm not inviting this family member's partner, even though I think that this person probably thinks that it would be a joint invitation. But the partner is like not very nice to this family member, and I don't like them. So I was just wondering, like, am I a huge bitch for like not inviting him? Dropping the pronoun. And if so, or I guess regardless, how do I really navigate this when this family member inevitably asks, like, the invitation isn't addressed to so-and-so as well as me. Because I do feel like a bitch, but I do feel right about it. But, I love your opinion, so I just wanted to get an outsider's perspective. So thank you.
Oof. Yeah, this one is interesting because ultimately it's like you can fucking invite whoever you want to your wedding. You just have to maybe deal with the aftermath,
And you say that, but it's like, I was just in a conversation with Jeff about this the other day, that like we invited people that we had out the gate being like, and we're not inviting this person, and we're not inviting this person, and then we ended up inviting them because I didn't want to make waves.
Yeah.
And I regretted it.
But this is also a small
That's what I'm
wedding.
saying. So that's why I think that no matter how uncomfortable it can be, if you don't want that person at your wedding, especially because they treat their partner not the way you would like for them to be treated, there is no, you do it. You do not invite them. It's a small wedding. You said it was a small wedding. Say it's just family. And if your other family member that does get invited, or maybe the family member will be like, well, if my partner's not invited, I'm not coming.
So be it.
You're keeping it very small.
Yeah.
You don't have the space, and there's some things that need to be cut. And that's when planning a wedding, I don't understand how anybody, when asking for like, oh, can I bring a +1? Oh, can I do this? Oh, can I do this? Every time you ask that question, you cost them more money. You cost the people running the wedding more money.
Yeah.
So make it down to money. You need to keep this as small as possible, and that includes no partners. And if that family member sees other people with partners,
there's going to be other partners.
And there's going to be other partners there. You're going to fucking cross that bridge when you fucking get to it. Because do you think that that family member is going to bring that up on your wedding day? Is this going to be a much bigger thing in the future?
Beforehand. If they also might bring it up beforehand if they talk to other family members and say, well, you're inviting so-and-so with a... And here's the thing. I mean, I guess it's like you said you're not that close with your family member, with your family. I don't know if this family member is somebody that you actually truly care about a lot, because this could be an opportunity for you to say, I'll be totally honest with you, Susie or whatever. I really don't like the way that what I've seen of your, I would say something like, this is my wedding. I really want the day to be all about love and support and people really that I feel good around. And I have to be honest with you, I have not felt that way around your partner. I don't like the way he treats you. I don't like seeing the way he interacts with you. And he's not been kind to our family. And I don't want that on my wedding day. And if that hurts you, I'm really sorry. But this is like my wedding and it's small. And I really just want to have people be there. And I think that could be absolutely a fucking kick in the face to anybody that you would say it to. Yeah. But maybe Susie needs to hear that.
You're right.
Maybe Susie fucking needs to hear that, because no one has actually taken a stand to be like, and I'm saying this because I don't like the way they're treating you. It's not even about the way they're treating me. It's the way they're treating you. Like, I don't like that.
God, but
I don't
is
want
Susie
that
ready to hear that? Like, does Susie know that she's not treated well?
Sure, and maybe Susie will not speak to you, but Susie will know in the back of her mind that someone else sees what she's been going through, because she knows probably what you're talking about, even if she denies
I'm sure.
it. She knows what you're talking about. So
that breaks my heart,
it's heartbreaking, but at the same time, and I'm also totally making them a heteronormative couple right now. They could actually totally be two men, because you did say the partner was a man, but I don't know. This could be, this family member could be a man as well. But like, I just feel like if they really want to get into it with you, they really want to ask you, like, why am I not invited with my partner?
No, you'll get the reason.
Again, I don't know. There's all kinds of rules. Some people only invite people that are married. Some people only invite people that are living together.
Right.
If they're not those things, you can stick to those etiquette rules. But if they are living together or married, then you could just say, you know what? This is the vibe I want for my wedding. It's extremely small.
Yep.
And I just don't want to have anybody there whose behavior I have to worry about. And unfortunately, his behavior towards you and to other members of our family really causes me stress and I don't want that on my wedding day.
I need the least amount of stress and anxiety adding
I would
onto the day.
love you there, and I hope that you'll come.
You're right, Kara. I just was so scared to do that. I was so scared of doing
and
that.
I'm telling you something that's extremely hard to do, and I've never had to do it, and I'm just saying it would be hard to do, but that's something you could do.
You're right. But that is the proper thing to do. That it's being, what do we bring up all the time on this show? It's like, it's effective communication.
Yeah, because like, honestly, you could say, oh, we're not doing partners. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. Then they're going to see that you invited somebody else that's in their exact same partnership situation and that you invited them with their partner. And so, you either try to say, I'm so sorry, it comes down to the numbers. We don't feel like we know him that well. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can say, but and maybe they won't come, and I'm sure you're prepared for that.
Please let us know how it goes. I'd love to hear an update.
Ultimately,
please.
though, it is your wedding, and like, you shouldn't have to invite people that you don't like or don't want to. But we all have, and I get it. My mom made me invite a bunch of people that I was like, but ultimately, I did put my foot down over a couple people. I was like, I don't really want them. I don't know that person. Like, I'm not, know. So, But that's also, I had a bigger wedding, and I think you had a bigger wedding. And you have a small wedding.
Small wedding. There's you gotta chop. A lot of people get the heads roll.
You gotta be selectivo, baby. All right, let's get to this last email.
Let's do it.
And we've been getting a lot of emails about this kind of stuff, but we'll get to this one. Okay.
You got.
Hi, ladies. First of all, we only read emails and play voicemails where there's effusive compliments at the beginning. I don't know if you've noticed that. It's actually an accident.
Kara,
it's actually an accident.
She searches for it. She needs it.
No, but a lot of the ones that I really want to read, they happen to be complimenting us at the beginning.
You're very sweet.
I'm sorry. I also, maybe I need the ego boost. Okay. Hi, ladies. First off, I love the podcast. You're both great. My bitchuation is as follows. I, 32 female, am an attorney, and my law partner / best friend, 49 male, I'll call him Dan, and I have always had differing political views. But with everything going on in the US right now, I feel like we're headed for a blowout, and I need to know if I'm the bitch. I swear I'm not trying to get you canceled just by sending this, but since the death of a certain podcaster, Dan's views have become much more conservative. I've always believed politics shouldn't ruin personal relationships, ideally, but I'm honestly about to snap. Our conversations, which used to cover everything under the sun, are now just him ranting in person over the phone or by text and sending me articles that have zero basis in fact. When I push back or share something that supports my view, suddenly my sources are bad, even when they're the same ones he's used before, or all media is biased. Apparently, just not his media in that specific moment. It's gotten to the point where I just don't respond anymore. I'm already exhausted by the state of the country, and now I feel like I'm losing my best friend and my business partner. Look, I'm a lawyer. I love a good debate, but Dan has completely changed. He won't hear even basic reasonable points like maybe a high school student, regardless of immigration status, shouldn't be shipped from Massachusetts to Virginia by ICE. So am I the bitch for avoiding these topics altogether, or am I the bitch for not taking a stronger stance when he goes off the rails? Please help me out here. Oof, if we're all not feeling this, first of all, the reason he's become so much more radicalized after the death of this certain podcaster is because that's exactly what they have positioned their response to it to do. They have absolutely been trying to make it feel they have used that person's death to radicalize more people and get more people to stand on their side. And it's really fucking gross. And I think what's really scary is like, isn't this going to creep into his work?
Now coming from someone, obviously, I don't know anything about the law or being an attorney.
And you didn't say what kind of attorney you are.
Right. And you have said my law partner, and I don't understand in the world of that, like what that power dynamic would be, but just genuinely of him being an older person just for you. And I'm assuming that maybe he had been more established in this partnership, that it's also got to be a very difficult situation that you find yourself in of being able to have the freedom to say, I don't agree with you, that I do not, and like wanting to go head to head. Is that something that will become an issue with your job?
Well, if I feel like if she's partner, which congratulations, because 32 is quite young to make partner.
That's right. I know, because you said my law partner, so I'm trying to, and I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to discredit you.
Maybe it's not a huge firm. Maybe it's just small. It sounds to me like there might be a blowout and that it wouldn't affect her career. It sounds to me like she's like, should I be taking bigger, stronger stances because they also have this close friendship? I think this is really tough too because, oh my God, because you could just totally write him off and go back to just never talk about these topics together. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like he's only going to slip further and further into this radicalization.
But have you watched people in your life that have slipped further and further into this? And it is a slippery slope. And at least personally, I've lost members of my family. My partner has lost members of his family. It gets to a point where I can't reach you anymore, and you've gotten to such a dangerous point of your beliefs, according to me, that I need to separate myself from you.
Yeah.
And I guess it really depends on your own personal beliefs. Obviously, it seems like, you probably would get how we feel about a lot of things. But it does get to a point of the false narrative that they're creating in their brain that it's so dangerous. For a lawyer,
that's so scary to me because it's like lawyers should know about you
proper media and
you state a fact, you show evidence to support the facts. You're supporting that because to me it's like, I don't even really care what you're arguing about. I don't care if you're fucking arguing about recipes. If you're arguing and he is just fully discrediting you and saying that your sources are bad and that you don't know what you're talking about.
Do you want to work with him anymore?
Is that a person that's valuing you as a friend? Like, it's one thing, like, if I argue with my parents and all they give me are, like, you know, my dad looks up these fucking journals of places I've never even heard of. And I'm like, okay, Dad, like, that's not anything I've ever heard of. And then you show, you know, CNN or you show Al Jazeera or Wall Street Journal or anything. And it's like that, none of it's good enough. You know what I mean? I get that. But it's like he's using the same sources as you. And then he's kind of gaslighting you by then saying that your sources are bad when he's used the same ones as you.
Right.
So is that someone you want to continue a friendship with? Do you think that it would help to have like a sit down cup of coffee or a meal and be like, listen,
outside of work.
I know that we've had different political opinions, but we used to be able to talk about like certain things and have legitimate fact-based, fact-supported conversations. And I feel like lately you have really kind of gone down a rabbit hole with some of this stuff, and it makes me feel like it's affecting our friendship. And if he gets really defensive and comes at you, I feel like there's your answer right there.
Yes.
If he really takes you and is like, oh, I didn't realize that this was bothering you so much, then it's like, yeah, it really is. And you continue the conversation and you figure out whether you guys are just going to avoid certain topics or whether he needs to be more open-minded to your point of view if you guys are going to have spirited debate about certain topics, because you cannot just be friends with somebody that's just going to fucking pop off about everything and tell you that you're wrong and you have no recourse in the conversation.
Because that's not friendship anymore.
Yeah, that's not a friendship. That's somebody using you as like an emotional whipping post, to be honest.
Exactly. And it's finding that friendship again. And maybe it is after you have that conversation of like, okay, we need to just agree to disagree. And we'll put this stuff to
I
the
don't
side.
want this to turn into a blowout where I say something mean or something that I don't mean. Like, I'm coming to you calmly now because I want to avoid us getting to a blowout. But it feels like you don't even have to bring up the death of the person or anything like that. Just it feels like as of late, you've been letting the political climate, maybe social media, certain things get you so riled up that it feels like this is all we talk about, number one. Number two, when we do talk about it, I don't really feel like I get a say.
Right.
It feels like you're discounting where I'm coming from and my fact-based evidence and saying it's not true. And I'm a lawyer and I work with you, so you should not think that I'm getting...
And trust me?
You should trust me. There should be a trust there. Like, I feel like this could all be a conversation, but you got to let us know what happens, because I feel if this guy's too far down, he's going to go, this is you liberals. He's going to first of all, try to place you in a bucket with a bunch of with just a political party and not treat you like a person. And he's going to get defensive. And I feel like, you know, you're not trying to say my way's the way, but you're trying to say like, you're not even letting me get my part of the argument out without saying that my sources are bullshit, media's all bad, this and that. Like, we used to be able to have... You're driving me away from you, and I want to keep a friendship with you.
That's what it is. And I think it's also coming at it rather than like, it's like, and I don't want you talking to me about these things. It's like, I feel disrespected and I feel like you don't trust me as one of your partners because you come at me.
And your friend, yeah.
And as your friend, that I feel like right now, and that is, I'm imagining that you guys work together. If you're both law partners, I imagine you're at least working together in some capacity, and you need to be able to rely on each other and to be able to trust each other. And that's what's been broken right now. And maybe it is part of that conversation of like, how do we rebuild our friendship as well as rebuild our professional relationship? Because that's both of it has been torn asunder right now.
Yeah.
How do you go into work and know like this guy's got my back when he's thinking all this fucking crazy bullshit?
And he can't admit that you might have a point about something. Right. You know what I mean?
And that's not the kind of lawyer I'd want to be partnered with. Now, I don't know how difficult it is to get out of being a partner.
Yeah, or where you are. Maybe there aren't other jobs. Like, who knows? Like, but I feel like if he freaks out and gets defensive, then maybe you just have to like pull back from the friendship, and it's got to just be. It sucks because you say he's your best friend. You have a 17-year-old age difference older than you male friend, which is interesting. And I think sometimes people that are older don't respect the opinions of people that are younger.
The power dynamic, yes.
Not to mention the age dynamic, not to mention the gender dynamic. Like if he's like, oh, well, you're just a young woman and I'm an older man and I know, like, who knows? I'm not putting things on this guy. But it feels like there could be a lot of like different aspects here. And unfortunately, you might have to just pump the brakes on the friendship and make it just purely a professional relationship where you only talk about work.
Protect yourself first. That's what.
This is really sad though, because I'm seeing this across. Like, I read this one because it wasn't the same as like, oh, my MAGA parents, which I have parents that are not MAGA, but they are, woefully brainwashed in my opinion. And people have family members, and the people go through this with their family members or maybe friends from high school and stuff like that. But this was like interesting to me because it's a work relationship, and you said a best friend, and there's an age difference and a gender difference here. And I just wonder, I think it all kind of plays into it. But also, I do feel like after this event that happened in September, it has radicalized people that were already a little C conservative to be big C conservative.
Yes.
And that's really deeply troubling.
Yes.
That's
why we have to just keep trying to talk to each other, and also understanding.
I don't want you to just fucking cut them off right now, because I think that you could give it another shot of having a face-to-face conversation about nothing specific, not specifically when you sent me this article about this, or when you just in general, you are ranting a lot. I'm worried you're getting very angry. This feels like you're going down a rabbit hole. I'm just worried about you, and I'm worried about how this is going to affect our friendship. And if he can't really hear it, then I don't know if this is a friendship that you can save.
Yeah.
Oh, no. But let us know what happens. You're not a bitch for avoiding topics either. But I think that you don't need to take a stronger stance when he goes off the rails, which is what you asked. You need to sit down and be like, buddy,
let's talk.
Oh, man.
But thank you guys so much for writing in.
Thanks to everybody who wrote in.
This was a great episode. I feel like my brain has been all over the place.
I mean, we went everywhere. We went from hot dogs.
Yes.
We had a couple of different coworker issues.
Yes. We were frustrated up top.
We got frustrated, especially when things come up about politics.
But I do know that this release date of this episode of Who's the Bitch is coming out on October 29th, which is the day for the bloodbath to begin.
Oh, yeah.
No, a little bit earlier than Halloween. Go check out Vampire Bloodbath.
Yes, go check out Vampire on it's on the Last Pod YouTube, we think.
Yes.
And go check that out. While you're on YouTube, you can join our YouTube, which is at Who's the Bee on YouTube.
Come check us out.
And we have everything possible about us is at who'sthebitch.com. That includes how to get in touch with us. Who's the Bitch LPN is us on Instagram. Follow us for fun little videos. Oh, I posted a photo of us on the Instagram recently of me next to a buzzball piñata. I don't know if you saw that. But in my
where do we get one?
In my neighborhood, they were selling a big buzzball piñata, so we'll get one of those.
And you didn't bring me one?
I was with my kids. I couldn't grab it. But I know where to get it. It's nearby, walking distance from my home, so I can get it.
Have it.
We'll get a buzzball piñata. But stay tuned for our next bitchathon. We're gonna have another bitchathon coming up soon, and just follow us everywhere that you can and spread the word. Tell a friend about a bitchy. Who's the bitch?
Hell yeah, we love hearing from you. Who'sthebitch.com. And don't worry, guys, we'll be back next week with every bitchuation you've ever thought of.
And happy Halloween.
Ooh. Goodbye.
This show is made possible by listeners like you. Thanks to our ad sponsors, you can support our shows by supporting them. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lastpodcastnetwork.com.
It's the big sale of the year at All Modern, a Wayfair specialty brand. October 26th through the 29th. Save up to 70% off modern furniture and decor, plus fast and free shipping. Shop the big sale of the year at allmodern.com.
Hey, what's up, subscribers? Welcome back to the channel. So which variety of Dunkin' at-home coffee is your fave? Original blend, French vanilla, or hazelnut? Drop a comment.
What are you?
Oh, this is what I do when I'm home alone.
Drink Dunkin' Original Blend or pretend you're an influencer?
Both. Want a cup? Hey, let's do a taste test for the audience.
Okay, how's this? The rich, smooth taste of Dunkin' at home is unmatched.
Nice. You're a natural.
The home with Dunkin' is where you want to be.